So status quo is a lovable demon. Our tendency to keep things the same gives us this beautiful freedom to live, not have to make decisions. And yet it also imprisons us to our past selves. And so who has cracked the nut on status quo? Well, today I'm going to argue Verizon. We are going to talk about 3 clever things that Verizon has done to get us to switch plans and the lessons that we could learn. So first, the status quo is our bias or our preference for keeping things the same rather than changing them. The best predictor of if I will exercise tomorrow is if I've exercised today, and the best predictor of if I've exercised today is if I've exercised yesterday. This is the status quo, and this is bad for startups who are trying to change your behavior, and it's bad for companies like Verizon who are trying to get us to switch. So let's review what drives the status quo. Well, we've got a few mechanisms here. We've got loss aversion. So any change could be perceived as a loss. I'm giving up my phone plan. That is scary. What will I lose? Friction. It's just a lot of work to change. I have to evaluate the plans. I have to tell people, change my number, right? Regret aversion. So you just don't want to make a mistake. Like, what if I lock myself into a plan that I don't like? Or uncertainty, like the status quo is a safe option. I'm cool with what I have now. No need to change. And so how do you overcome this beast? Verizon, tell us. Okay, actually, of course, it's telling us on the homepage very clearly, very loudly, it is a free phone. So a free phone is playing to present bias. This is our tendency to prioritize immediate rewards. And basically, the free phone is the best. It's $800. It's an Apple iPhone, $829. What? Like, that's crazy. They're kind of not mentioning, although we will get to it later, that you need a phone plan. And a phone plan over the course of this 3-year commitment will cost you close to $3,000, if not more. And so by emphasizing this immediate benefit, this cool, interesting free phone, they're getting me over the friction or the hump. And this is the key thing on key behavior, or on the 3 Bs. So the 3 Bs is this idea of behavior change, which is you pick a key behavior, you then reduce barriers to that behavior, and you increase benefits, immediate benefits. But sometimes you can't decrease barriers. Like if you're switching, that's just a lot of barriers. And so if that's your case, you have to increase motivation so much that gets me over this hump of switching. And so a free phone is like the ultimate immediate benefit. It's the ultimate present bias. Oh my gosh, they've totally nailed it. And it makes me forget about this $3,000 contract I'm about to sign. Okay, so I've now picked my offer, trying to upsell me more things. I'm gonna just click continue. I mean, Verizon, while you got me, just keep going here, right? Okay, no device protection. Great. And okay, so now what is this? This is the phone plan. This is my commitment. This is my 3-year commitment to Verizon. I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, much less 3 years, but Verizon is asking me to sign up for a 3-year plan. So the first thing that we're going to learn here is free phone, immediate benefits. The second thing is what they're doing here, which is saying unlimited, ultimate, unlimited plus. Look, what happened to I just need 8 gigs of data. I just need 10 gigs of data. There are almost no plans that they offer with limited data. And so what is this about? Well, this strategy plays into, or I think it plays into, our difficulty of understanding and quantifying what actually data uses are. Like, how much do I use? And so going with unlimited feels like a safer, more valuable option. It's basically a play around our preference for certainty. We don't want this idea of, oh, you could go over. There's overage charges. We want something certain. We want something dependable. Even if, and we don't probably realize this, we would be paying way less if we just did an 8 gig or 10 gig thing. I would challenge you to look at your phone right now and see how much you're using, or look at your phone plan. But the word unlimited really does imply that you're getting something for free. And this idea of unlimited with the free can be really psychologically appealing instead of just having a finite amount. And so maybe the implication here for folks thinking about pricing pages is that unlimited is kind of appealing. So if you can, you should consider offering something unlimited. Now, the worry here is that you can't go back from unlimited. You can't say, okay, you're on unlimited and now we're going to only have you have 3 users versus unlimited users. But it is a really appealing concept that you should probably consider for your top tiers. Okay, what is the third way that Verizon has nailed this whole experience? We're going to have to go back to the homepage to really figure it out. Okay, we are back where they are trying to schleck us for the free phones. And what are they saying? They're saying here, Keep your phone, keep your number. So if you keep your phone and $25 a line, what a steal. Keep your phone, keep your number. And so they've addressed this idea of what is a barrier to switching, which is much about loss avoidance. I like my 608 number and wouldn't want to lose it, as it is about effort aversion. I do not want to go through all the steps of changing, and changing a number seems really hard. So imagine if banks, just like play this game, a bank said, look, you could switch banks and you don't have to change any of your bill pay. It would make it a much more likely thing that I would even consider switching banks, because it just seems so much wildly easier. And what these phone plans have done is basically identify a barrier, which is the switching costs, and they have removed it. Right. And so these three things in combination, we've increased the motivation, we've increased the benefit, and we've decreased some of the barrier. And then we've given people certainty. It's kind of this beautiful plan, literally a plan, that Verizon has to get us out of the status quo. And it's a nice recipe for startups to use as well. And so I will end with this idea that the status quo is a beautiful thing. It is lovely and helps us out in a day-to-day so that we're not reevaluating our web browser or our insurance and stressing ourselves out. But it also really traps us in our own identity. And maybe this is kind of philosophical for a minute, but even if you don't have a Verizon to get you out of it, it is likely that we could all use a little bit of a shove to get a little bit of an immediate benefit, decrease barriers to get out of our own status quo. And so think about what you did yesterday and try to do something different today.